I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
They just go with the flow. It's the Herschy and Keegs show.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. It's the first show of the year. Wiggle those heinies and jiggle those ginies. Yeah, it is the Herschy and the Keegs show.
Wow.
We're excited.
This was not the night for me to have my church group watch.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Shit. Darn
it. Jesus Latter-day Saints are watching.
Oh, man.
They're wiggling their ginies, too.
You know what? We're here, and as I posted a few minutes ago, it's horrific outside. Everyone's home. No one's at games. No one's picking up their kids at practice or dropping them off. You guys are home, toasty with the puppies on the couch. You should watch us and laugh.
Yeah, we braved the elements to come here for you.
There were elements, definitely. Yeah. There was sodium, potassium on the way here.
Nitrous oxide.
We got it. So we're here. I think we're gonna go right into something that's very important to all of us before we even start anything on the show. Today is a very big day. It is Barbie doll's birthday.
Happy birthday, Barbie doll!
I had mentioned to her today, I said, Barbie doll, we might call you during the show. You know, with her, you never know. She could be knee deep into a Netflix series and she won't hear the phone ringing.
Yeah.
You know, she could be in a nap and then waking up at midnight. But we're gonna give her a
dirty
call.
videos.
Yeah.
Do it now?
Well, go ahead. Yeah, give
Yeah,
her a
we're
call.
gonna give Barbie doll a call. Wish her a happy birthday.
We're gonna try. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen. This is live radio, podcast radio. But
never know.
before we dive into things, we're going to.
She could have a gentleman caller over. Who knows?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully not that, but
Yeah,
I don't know how I'd react to that.
Phone is
honestly,
ringing. Imagine that some guy
yeah.
answers.
Well, the phone works. We know that much.
The Reverend.
Hello.
Barbie doll,
Yes.
you're live on the air, Barbie doll.
Oh. Thank you.
Happy birthday, beautiful.
That's
Thank you very much.
So that's Keegan, and then there's our producer Tony Walker. He only has one leg, but he wants to say hello.
Happy birthday, Mama.
thank you very much.
So, how did you enjoy? You had a little visit today from me and Stacy and Maxwell and Anna. Samantha's back at school, but how'd you enjoy your cake and your handcrafted calendar from Walgreens that I put together for you?
Ooh.
I enjoyed my cake.
Yeah,
I enjoyed having my grandchildren.
that's right.
And my son and daughter-in-law.
That's right. You got
Yes,
them all
your
correct.
beautiful son.
I did. I left some cake in the freezer, but don't hit it up until tomorrow. Okay, we don't want to get we don't
No,
want to
I'm
get too
not
sugared
going to
up.
have it until tomorrow.
So I was. We're not going to keep you long because I just want. We have a lot to go over on our show tonight, but it's obviously an important day. You know, I was thinking about one subject to cover with you today. Out of all the things, the many years that you've been on Earth and that I've spent with you, and for some reason, the subject that came up in my mind, and I don't even know if you remember this. I think it was a birthday celebration for you, but I'm not sure. Do you remember when we went out when I was a little boy? We went out for Chinese food in Brooklyn, and we were visiting Daddy's. I think it was Uncle Bill, and we were at a Chinese food restaurant, and there was an armed robbery, and we were victims of an armed robbery.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, but you weren't there.
Oh, Barbara. I sure as hell was, because I remember Daddy telling you to take your rings and put them into your shoe.
Keister.
No, Daddy's mother, my mother-in-law, told me to put my hand on my lap so that they couldn't see my ring.
Okay.
And she was the one. She brought up the ring.
But
And
why do
it
you?
was really scary.
Right. Well, Daddy, being the opposite of me in every single way, was ready to fuck some people up, where I was, of course, typically...
Nowhere to be found.
Well, I was 7 at the time, or 6.
Still
But
pussy.
Daddy, I don't know if Daddy was carrying at that point or not, but he was definitely ready to kill people. Why do you remember it like I wasn't there? Because I could picture it in my mind. It's 40+ years ago. I could picture the restaurant. I could picture the scene. I could picture the so it was a Chinese restaurant that was actually armed robbery by Chinese people. Other
You know
Chinese
what's even
people.
better is to hear a Chinese person say armed robbery. Armed robbery!
Okay, I know.
We were...
No, don't
The
laugh.
place was across from my Uncle
Yes,
Bill
right.
and Aunt Dottie.
Correct. That's exactly right.
What a memory.
But think about it, Ma. I didn't go anywhere without you until I was about 17. So
That's right. Yeah, but how come you... I guess you
Yeah.
were old enough that you...
Under the
what, I
table.
could go to dinner? What? I
We
was
didn't plan on going to dinner. We went to visit Dottie and Bill.
Yes.
And you didn't come with us.
Ma, what
We
are you
were
saying
there,
that for, Ma? I was there. And you keep on saying Dottie, but I don't remember Dottie being there. I think Dottie was already dead, and it was just us
You
taking
were
out
Dottie.
Uncle Bill.
You must
Well,
look like
maybe she
Dottie.
wasn't there. It was just Bill.
Right. And that you're thinking of her not being there. It was me. That I was there.
You were?
No, how else would I remember the story? I remember the whole thing with Daddy
You
saying,
remember the story because we told
No,
it.
no, Ma. No.
Well,
No.
I'm sorry to tell you, but there's
Ma.
nobody left that I can ask.
You don't have to ask
No
anyone.
way,
I was there. I'm
No,
telling
you
you.
were not
weren't
there. I
there.
guarantee you were
Ma,
not there.
what are
He
you
wasn't
saying?
there.
There's no one left to ask except for me and you. And I was there. I remember it. I remember the restaurant. I remember the cops coming in and beating the shit out of the Chinese guys when they in the front of the restaurant. How would I possibly not remember that?
I don't know. I don't even remember that. But how could you have been there?
Ma, I don't understand why you're saying why couldn't I have been there? When did Dottie die? Dottie's whatever her last name was.
when did 2017?
No. You mean 1977. You mean not 2017. 2017
This
was
happened
6
6 years ago, Mark, and you were not there because you were a
Ma,
grown man.
We did the same thing with this show. We called
How
it
many
Mike
years
Keegan
ago?
Show.
It was 40 years ago, wasn't it, Ma?
That we went to the Dottie.
Yeah.
40 years ago. So I was 40.
No, Ma. It was more than 40 years ago because I was like 6 or 7.
You weren't even there. How would you know, Mark?
Ma.
I can't believe I don't remember you being there.
I could believe it.
Dottie died, what, in the late 70s, early 80s?
You were born in 71.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not sure.
All right.
You always catch me on these calls.
Caught you off guard.
No, it sounds like you caught me. My audience doesn't think that I'm telling the truth for some reason.
Definitely were not there.
Giving your mother a hard time on her birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll revisit this tomorrow, okay? You and I will talk about it. And I know you're going to be up now stirring about this whole thing. But
Right.
as I remember it, me, you, and Daddy went there to visit Uncle Bill. Dottie was already dead. I don't remember Michelle being there, but that's not a surprise. She could have been out with Jennifer Murray. And I remember Daddy saying to you, put the goddamn rings in your stocking or your sock or something like that. I remember that. And then Daddy was reaching for like a knife, and maybe if he had his piece with him, I don't remember. But then the Chinese people who were holding up the place got beat up by the cops.
So was Chinese people robbing the
Robbing the
place
Chinese
too?
food
They were
place.
robbing the Chinese.
This might have been an
You don't do
episode of
that to your
Starsky
own.
and Hutch, actually. I'm not
Did
sure.
Did they say, give me your warrant?
I wish
So
there
lovely.
was somebody I could ask.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Barbie doll, thanks for making my audience feel like I made up this whole story, but it is true. Happy birthday to you. We wish you a very, very happy birthday from Tony and
I
Keegs.
bet you told everybody how old I am.
I did not. And we just talked about it before the show went on.
You
We
did give it
not
up,
say.
though, and
Yeah.
if anybody was
Yeah,
paying
but
attention.
no one's listening, though. We're not going to mention. We don't talk about a girl's age, Barbie doll.
But how much do you weigh?
Okay, thank you for calling me.
All right, Barbie doll.
Happy birthday. Have a
Bye
great
to
one.
the
Many
other
more.
guys.
We'll talk to you. I'll talk to you in the morning, and we'll hash this story out, and then you'll type up
Okay.
a disclaimer and an apology. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All
All right. Love you, Barbie doll. See you later.
Love you more.
Okay. Bye now.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh,
No, that's.
So you're trying to
No, I was on-
trick an 80-year-old
no,
woman
I-
that's
into...
disgusting.
I was 100% there.
Be ashamed of
I was
yourself.
100% there. Let's not even do that. Okay. Let's not do this.
It's not even.
I
Let's
didn't
not do
think
this.
they robbed their own, though.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was Chinese
Was it the
people.
Yakuza?
It might have been like an inside job.
Yeah, I'm sure
I don't
it was.
remember.
Disgruntled ex-employee.
Damn, I wish my father was alive. I mean, for more reasons.
For
than
more,
this
if not
story.
for just that reason. Yeah, exactly.
This is the first time I actually thought that. Well, that's what happened, and me and Barbie doll are gonna have a little bit of.
Can't even ask Dottie.
Dottie's been gone for a long time, and Dottie left some money. That's how I know that. As a matter of fact, I think Dottie's money might have paid for part of my bar mitzvah, which was in 1983. So she's probably died at around 81 or 82.
Okay.
Which I should have thrown
She
that
didn't
out
make it
just
to your
now.
bar mitzvah, yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
didn't.
let's call her back. Let's tell her.
Yeah, we'll call
Get
Barbie
the Long
doll
Island
back.
medium or something.
Yeah.
She can find out.
Right?
That's
It's
right.
true.
I'll call up Teresa Caputo to find out exactly what happened to Uncle Bill and Dottie. Okay, so let's hit on a few other things. We do have a guest coming in a few minutes. This is a buddy of Keegan that he force fed on us. His name is Eric Cassen. He is going to be doing some shows here at Governor's, and Carlo's going to be on the show, and sounds like he's a very nice person, good
Very
guy.
good guy,
so,
very funny guy, a
Yeah.
good friend of mine.
Right.
I know you never met him before.
No.
Good guy. I've known him a long time. I've known him probably almost a decade now.
Oh, good, great,
Funny guy.
All right. So we'll get some good stuff done first until he comes in, and then there was a couple of things. So and thank you, by the way, to everybody who had done what I'd asked today, which is I put on a full blown blitz via text, Facebook message, Facebook invite for Mikey and I to grow our personal Herschy and Keegs YouTube page. Obviously, there's a lot of activity on the Governor's YouTube podcast page, but Mikey and I feel like it's important that we put out some content on our own page, and
this way we could put out some shorts,
some
reels,
shorts and stuff like that, which we don't have access to on the Mother Load page. But so we picked up 100+ viewers today, or subscribers on the YouTube page, and we do appreciate that because
Thank you very much.
We have actually seen some activity growth today just based on that. I don't know if I even told you this, Mikey, but you were busy doing what you were doing today, and I just took it upon myself to do what I've done a few times before over the past year. Since you've given me access to your Facebook page, I decided to send some invites out from your page.
Excellent.
Which we got some responses.
Good work.
And as always, it never fails that there's always a little bit of surprise for me when I log on to Keegan's Facebook page. And believe me, I'm not looking for it. I'm like a bank robber. I'm looking to get in and get out.
There's just so much there.
I'm not looking around to get in trouble. I'm not looking to trip any alarms. I'm looking to get in and I'm looking to get out. And sure enough, I get a few invites sent and some people are logging on to the YouTube and subscribing. And there's something pops up from one of Mikey's groups. And this was one I haven't heard of before. But the name of the group is called Twats Dough. it's T-W-A. Twats Duh. Okay, so it's TWATSDEAUX. So apparently Mike at some point had been part of a page called Twats, and now it is called...
That page got banned.
Oh, that page got banned, but Twats Duh is...
I'm gonna. It's a fun page.
I know, it seemed like it was a riot.
Well, my buddy Jay Dugan started that page. It's really just we share very inappropriate memes if you scroll through it. It's really just a bunch of delinquents that share inappropriate memes that we can't put on our regular Facebook page.
Okay.
So it's not there's no actual twats in there. It's not a porn page. It's nothing sick.
Because as I get startled, I'm like, I shouldn't be seeing this stuff. This is not my business. Why am I in here? And I got out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
The original name of the page was People Who Aren't Twats.
Oh, I got you.
Because what happened was we were all posting these memes on our pages and we get reported and you end up in Facebook jail.
Yeah, gotcha.
So my friend Jay started this page so we could share it within our little community.
Right.
And it grew. There's probably over 1,000 people in this community.
Oh, wow. It's a good community.
He lives down in Costa Rica most of the year.
Jay does?
So there's a lot of Costa Ricans down there.
Right.
And,
gotcha.
And then that page got banned, so he started Twats Deux, which is
it's like a French,
like
Hot
French
Shots
twin.
I gotcha. Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
nothing sick, it's nothing perverted.
No, I'm sure these memes are harmless.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sure these memes are harmless. Well,
But so if anybody wants to join it, just friend request it. It's a fun page.
Twats did.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very good.
A lot of fun in there.
Yes, no, you're always up to a lot of fun. I had some fun the other day.
Oh, you did?
Myself and Anna, my middle daughter, we did a day trip to Binghamton because she's a dancer on the team there. Yes. So we had driven up because she had to be at a game Thursday night, and I'll tell you this bizarrety that happened. So she
would dance game.
This was at a basketball game. She's dancing, but I had to drop her off at 5, and then the game was at 6. So I stayed in the car, and I had like a blanket, and I put the seat back a little bit, and I was getting a little bit of a rest in because I was gonna have a long drive back. You know, and when you have that. So I'm in the car, and I have like Mad Dog Radio on, and I'm not asleep, but I'm relaxing. And that feeling you get where someone's looking at you. So
when they see a guy in his mid-50s sleeping in a college parking lot in his car.
I didn't think about it like that. But so I'm there and I have a blanket up to my neck, and it's like probably a blanket that she got from like one of those giveaways from like Pink. It's like one of those nice soft cottony blankets. And I just turn my head to the left, and there's like a 70-year-old man just standing looking into the window. Really? And he's like, "Wah!" And he's So
why would he do that?
He goes, "Open the window." So I opened the window. He goes, "You scared me."
You know he was old because he said, "Open the window," like he's rolling it down.
He said, "You scared me." I said, "You were fucking leering into the window in my car. How did I scare you?"
Yeah, exactly.
He goes, "I came out of the car and I saw someone in the car, and then next thing you know, you turned and you looked at me."
Don't look into the car, you creep.
So then the next thing you know, I'm explaining to him, "Well, I just drove for 200 miles," and I'm like, "Why the fuck am I explaining to you, you old fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that was You scared me, he said, and then he felt the need to tell me that I scared him.
And he felt the need to ask you to open your window.
He gave me the open the window
tell
sign.
You that you scared him.
And then of course, I think I was apologizing at some point. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong here. I was just in the parking lot, pleasuring myself.
Exactly. Under this furry blanket.
Right, this soft, very soft blanket.
There's a dance game going on inside.
Yeah. So
you didn't go into the game.
So I went into the game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I went into the game, watched the whole game. No, I
stayed
watched the whole game, but it was just a very weird. That was one oddity.
I could see, him giving you one of these.
No, he
starting
was
a conversation to say.
It's like I threw an M80 at him. He was like, "Wah!" I'm like why? But I'm thinking like, didn't he think like I could possibly wake up? Like, what did he think? There was just someone dead in the car?
Like, how long was he standing there?
I have no idea, and it must have been a bit because
you scared me. I've been standing here for 35 minutes.
It was so goddamn
You scared
weird.
me several times.
Yeah, you scared me. You had a little apnea and you scared me. You startled me.
What was he there for?
Well, what's interesting is, especially during break, not a lot of kids are in college are there. It's just the basketball team, the dance team, and whatever else is there, the support staff. But the stands in Binghamton were packed with these like 70-year-old townies.
Oh,
like
really?
it's just people from Vestal and Binghamton who are just they live in the neighborhood and they come and they watch and they're very loyal and dedicated and it was kind of an interesting dynamic. It was different than the usual, which is where there's tons of young kids at the games.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was Thursday, and then. The next morning, I'd made an appointment to bring in baby to PetSmart, and I made it at 7 o'clock in the morning, which was stupid because I'd been up late the night before. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you ever bring your dog into the groomer, but I always do you fill out the pre-check online,
exactly,
and you don't even really is your dog vaccinated or all this other shit. You just kind of bullshit through,
Yeah, he's had COVID 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. He's got whooping cough, kennel cough, pertussis, everything else. So it's like 6:55, and baby hasn't been taken care of in maybe 2 months, So I go in there and the lady's like, is she on any new medication or anything like that? And I had forgotten that I had started a new medication on her because she's been getting older, peeing a lot. So they gave us a new capsule that she's taking every single morning. And I was like, but I hadn't written it down, so I didn't have a copy of the prescription. So I was like, no.
Yeah.
And as I go to hand baby over, I realized that she never actually ate her pill that morning, and it stuck to her chin.
Are you serious? How fucking embarrassing is that?
I'm wrestling the thing off of her chin, and luckily I caught it, and I just hit it and took the pill myself. And with no further ado, we were just talking about him, our special guest, Eric Cassen, who I've never met before.
Eric Cassen, how are you, buddy?
Eric,
how do we do this?
Good. We do it like this.
Love you,
buddy.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
A good buddy of
Eric, nice to meet you.
This is Tony Walker.
Yeah.
So
pull up a headset.
Thank you.
And this is local Long Island comedian, prodigy, sex symbol.
Aren't prodigies usually young?
Yeah,
I think that ship sailed a long.
Former prodigy.
I just turned big 4-0, man.
Did you really? Congratulations,
bro.
Life keeps trying to keep me down, but keep fighting.
You made it.
One day at a time.
I'd say if you're here, you're being kept down still. If you're still.
There is other venues. We have a show this weekend, this Saturday, at Governor's. So we're having a big show. So. Doing a little radio promotion.
Little promo, yeah.
A little promo.
So I will tell you, just so you know, Mikey and I have been doing this show now for 2 years, and I would say that very frequently Mike will be like, hey, I want to bring this guy on the show, and I almost always tell him no. Is that right? 100%. I almost always be like, and for some reason...
Not 100%, 99.9%.
99.9%, I'm like, no, we're not going to have that guy on. And for some reason, even though I've never met you, I know little to nothing about you, Mikey had said that you're a good guy, and we should have him on.
I gave him the hard sell.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that. I'm not associated with any rats or pizza. I don't like naked women on my show. I like to keep it above board. I like to be a professional.
Eric's a good man.
So as you can see, that's why I rolled up at 9:20 in the middle of a nor'easter for you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for that.
Braved the elements for us and risked his life to get here.
No, but for real, Mike, I've been seeing you guys, and also you guys have been doing this for 2 years, and I watch your show, and it's I got to give you credit, man. You guys. That's what you got to do, though.
We're plugging away.
I was on Tony's show yesterday, and I was talking about how 76% of podcasts are dead.
Yeah.
So some people started them.
Yeah.
Did it for 3 months, no instant gratification.
Right.
And they packed up and they left.
Exactly.
No. I was talking to a microphone. I could have been talking to an unplugged microphone for about a year when I started Uncomfortable Couch and Loose Cannon Comics. And you can't stop. And that's what you guys are doing, and I appreciate it. I really do.
We're definitely satisfied with no gratification. We have no issue with that whatsoever.
We gratify each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
That's in the car before.
That's why I like the show so much.
Right,
I guess the thing is, as long as you see some growth, and the truth is, in the 2 years, especially now that we're jumping a little bit on Instagram and YouTube, we're starting to get a little bit, starting to see a little numbers increase. So for us, we always said that as long as we're making each other laugh and we have people that we know are following the show, and we're putting out good content, we're going to keep on doing it. Now, obviously, if it gets to a point where we're miserable, we're not laughing anymore, but I don't think that's going to happen.
We have fun together.
Soon.
We enjoy it.
We
and
love
see
each
a little
other.
bit of progress every
we hug.
week.
It is, listen, it is about validation. It really is. So, for instance, my Instagram page, it's a New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN.
Yep.
And like recently just jumped up 11,000 people.
Unreal.
So I had 10 years ago, I was telling the story yesterday, but 10 years ago I started making viral videos and stuff. But the problem with the viral videos were they weren't viral. So
they were videos.
I threw away all the furniture in my apartment. Like, I didn't have a couch.
Ken confirm, I've been there.
I got a picture of him holding my girl's drawers.
He had a refrigerator with 1 jar of peanut butter in it. I just remember that. And no couch, nothing.
I pretty much gave everything up.
Yeah.
Everything. And, and it didn't happen. And then the pandemic hit, life got in the way, and I couldn't do it. So, long story short, I put this post out. It's a video I made 10 years ago. It's called Uncle Mario's Offensive Driving School. Yeah. It's this Italian guy I was working with. Thing blows up, gets like 125,000. I'm like, you know what? I don't even care about the hits. I just care that I made something that no one saw 10 years ago.
Right.
That I put up now, and it's like, okay, I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. People actually think it's funny, because there is delusional, there is delusional thinking in this industry.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
A little
plenty
bit
of it. Yes, plenty of it. Mike and I were talking about it, and I said to Mike, I said, I don't know this guy a lot, but I think based on what you're telling me, we can kind of incorporate him into our usual, we usually hit on a few topics, whether it's current event type of stuff. So we feel that based on Mikey's review of you, that you can ride with us.
Yeah, I can.
You're going to ride with us. So
absolutely.
There were a couple of things that Mikey had texted me this morning. You had wanted us to talk about the Joe Coy situation,
and that ties into like the delusion in this business.
Okay,
also.
yeah. So are you familiar with the Joe Coy Golden Globe thing? Yeah.
So I watched the Joe Coy thing. Yeah. And actually I'm really glad I did, because I wasn't going to watch it. I really thought koi fish was. My brain is very scatterbrained, so I was like Joey Coy. I'm like koi fish. How long do koi fish live? And then I'm like, I googled it, and then I never watched the clip, but I did go back. And I saw the opening. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Joe Coy is a comic. He was the host of the Golden Globes on Sunday night, and he is basically taking a lot of heat, mostly from comics. Who are basically saying that it was not a strong set. Or
it was not a strong set.
And listen,
my thing is comedy's subjective. There are people out there that like my stand-up. There are people out there that hate my stand-up.
Yeah, more of them.
More who probably hate it. But the thing with him is, first of all, the guy is a very, very successful comedian. Sells out arenas.
Yep.
Whatever my opinion doesn't matter. And I'm not even so much criticizing his material. I mean, like I said, he only had 10 days to write it. It's geared towards
Why was that, by the way? Who was the host originally?
I don't even know if they had a host, because everyone was turning it down.
I think it was hosted by committee. Dude, you look at those award shows.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, what's funny? I did watch Ricky Gervais. I watched that over
in it, but they'll never have him back
before this even happened.
Called out all the hypocrisy and bullshit.
So, but as a comedian, that is not a very conducive.
It's a thankless job
environment for comedy.
So I think you nailed it on the head, Eric. And a couple of things that I was talking to Brad Trackman about. You know Brad, obviously, buddies with him, and I had said a couple of things. Number one, you're walking into a room that Ricky Gervais has literally murdered for the past few years, okay? The people in there were basically, they weren't going to stand for any bullshit whatsoever, number one. Number two, it's not really a room that is designed for comedy based on the fact that these people mostly have, something stuck up their ass.
They only care about themselves.
Yeah, they're not going to laugh. They're not going to laugh at themselves.
They're worried about if they're
vapid people devoid of any personality who are just taught lines and are parakeets. Yeah. So, and also the Golden Globes has always been very laissez-faire, been laid back, people at tables bullshitting with each other.
Yeah.
So it's really not, it's like, you know, it's kind of like ambush comedy at a bar. It's like a guy goes to have a gin and tonic, and it's like, hey, I flew in from town last week, and it's like, I don't.
It is, and because I'm not judging the audience's reaction or his comedy. It's all the biggest thing is that he felt like he was falling flat, and then blamed it on his writers. I'm like,
I don't know why
you hired your writers. Don't throw them under the bus. And he's addressing how badly he's doing. So he's like, what do you want, a perfect monologue? My problem is I'm friends with a lot of veteran comedians on Facebook that have been doing this 20, 30 years. And they're all like, well, I see a lot of unsuccessful people criticizing Joe Coy. I'm like, you know what? I'm way, way less successful than Joe Coy. Yeah. But I think, and I guarantee you, say what you want about unsuccessful comics criticizing him, I guarantee you in 10 days I could do just as good a job, if not better, than Joe Coy did that night.
I think you're right about that,
And
Michael.
it also comes to a point where he's a headlining comedian selling out arenas. He doesn't host anymore. This is a hosting
Is this an equity, is this the EIP thing that, large company, what is the total opposite of Ricky Gervais?
Exactly.
It's
They want
up and coming Asian guy who, and also on the heels, I'm not going to get my tinfoil out here, but on the heels of the Harvard thing with discrimination against whites and Asians, it so happens that there is an Asian American and he's paid his dues.
Yeah.
And he's come up, but that's the one thing, dude. And I'm not saying that you're hating, but just as a group of comedians, bro, if we stop stepping on each other, this guy Joe Coy,
I think he's hilarious.
You're friends with Joe Coy.
I don't think he's not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
right.
But the guy
is that like an Asian joke?
He's not all the tea in China, if you ask me. He's Chinese.
So
right?
here's the thing that my issue.
Didn't he rob a restaurant that you were at? One time?
No, I met him in an opium den one time. He sold me a gremlin.
The issue that I had personally is that when he was eating a bag of dicks out there, he should have just taken ownership of it.
Exactly.
And instead of saying, the writers who wrote the bad jokes, I wrote the good ones.
I only had 10 days to do this. Take it.
Oppenheimer was. He goes, maybe I'll finish Oppenheimer in 2024. That was actually okay. But other than that,
even like the Taylor when he said the joke about Taylor Swift, that was easy. But it was relatable and current and funny, and she can't take a joke.
He did a fine job, and they weren't going to laugh.
He did, but don't throw your writers under the bus. Don't make excuses. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They knew that they had a safe ethnic person who's not going to try to offend anybody, and that's them setting him up for failure. I mean, listen, like I said, I like Joe Coy. He's way more successful than I'll probably ever be. Definitely ever be.
That's close.
He's very funny.
Mike, can I ask you a question? What are the chances of a white guy wearing a Buffalo Bills hat fucking hosting the Golden Globes? Yeah. They'd stone you to death, bro.
Yeah, they'll look at my Facebook history, see who I voted for. What teams I root for, the color of my skin. They'll never have a white guy host again after Ricky Gervais ripped everyone apart.
Well, that's the only. I mean, that's the thing. It's like everyone else that tries to do it after Ricky Gervais is set up for failure because that's the only way you come into that place is you take your thing out, you put it on the table, and you're like, yo, I don't care about you people.
I don't care about you people, and call out the hypocrisy. Like Ricky Gervais said, get up here, take your little trophy, thank your parents, thank your God, and get the hell off stage.
So I think that the only people that would have a chance to survive,
a Chinaman's chance
in a situation like that would be like, did you see how well Will Ferrell and he did a bit with Kristen Wiig?
Yes,
they are safe. They're going to go up there and do silly stuff. The Hollywood actors and actresses are going to be fine with something like that. Even they don't want to be made fun of or poked fun of or Epsteined or anything like that.
And Will Ferrell is Will Ferrell. He's going to Will Ferrell it up, and he's going to have, like you said, Kristen Wiig, or even Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. They do a great job. They're safe. Everyone likes them. They're kind of in that club.
That's right.
And Gaffigan's getting a little flack too for what he said.
Yeah.
It's funny to be around all these pedophiles.
Oh, is that I didn't.
He said, he said, well, I can't believe I'm even here. I'm not one of you people. I'm not even a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like, hilarious. I grew up in a small town.
As much as I don't like this, like Jim Gaffigan, that's hilarious.
Yeah, well, because I think he got red pill on the Rogan show.
Yeah,
like it was like, you ever seen Space Odyssey when the monkeys, they go up to the watering hole and they use the bone and it was like I saw a light bulb go off in Jim Gaffigan's and he was like, because he was like, well, vaccine's not that bad and all this. And it's like, and he was like, and Joe's like laying some knowledge on. I know it's bro science, 75% of what Joe does. But he's like, and he's like, what? Like, he's been sold a bill of goods. And I think that maybe was his coming out party. But good for Gaffigan, bro. He's a guy, and they hired him because he's going to make dad jokes all night. Yeah. And he's not going to threaten anybody. And there's going to,
talk about Hot Pockets. And
yes, that's right.
That's why he's there.
Yeah. But that's their whole thing. They want it to be safe, and there's no controversy. And that's what Joe Coy was.
But I mean, isn't like the whole premise of like, I'm not saying that it's not safe, but like it's risky.
Yeah,
it's risque. Like comedy's, pushing the envelope, but it's like
it should be. If you don't, and you need a showman. You really need a showman. Joe Coy is doing a stand-up act. You need a showman like a Billy Crystal who's going to jump all over and sing and dance.
Yeah. Well, then there's extremes to this. Let's not get carried. Let's find somewhere in the middle of Billy Crystal on a jetpack at the Golden Globes in between him and Joe Coy. But also we shouldn't be looking to the Globes for our comedy. But it is one of the biggest stories right now.
I think they should just keep on rolling Ricky Gervais back. I don't think he would do it.
He won't. He said he won't, but and they
he
should.
Wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he dropped the hammer, and that was the end of it. I think. But
then with his new special, he's getting too whatever against Hollywood and all the bullshit. His new special was anti-woke, and the new special was great. Ricky Gervais' new special was awesome. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Well, no, we're gonna have him on next week.
He is,
yeah. He's going to come on.
That's good. That's give him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, we do big things on this show. As you can tell, you're here. Tell us about. So your show is coming up when, by the way, Eric?
It's coming up this Saturday. It's at 8:00 this Saturday
in the Giggle Room.
Right here, Governors in Levittown in the Giggle Room.
So we have Eric Cassen. We have Carla Okerson. Who else?
We got Carla. We got Sean B. We got Johnny Mac. Then we also have Tony Baloney making his comeback.
I have not seen him in a long time. I love that guy.
Tony B is coming back, and then we got Chris Big Baller Burns.
Time Chris Barnes.
So if you see on his, I put it up there for a reason, on the advertisement, thank you. On the advertisement up there. Look at that. And then, Lou. I made the advertisement, and I'm dyslexic. I put his last name as Parts.
Parts. Just parts of Lou.
Yeah, just parts of Lou. Yeah, exactly. He's not going to be hosting, but there's just going to be small parts of him all around the dining room.
Kneecap.
Yeah. And then Chris Big Baller Barnes, his speaking of social media, and he's been blowing up on Instagram, dude. If you guys
Dong Barnes, you follow him on Instagram at all?
If you see the video, he's on Long Island Reels a lot, and he's on Long Island Wise Guy a lot, and they've been actually helping me out a lot, reposting my stuff and helping me grow, and I appreciate Long Island Wise Guy.
Are we on the Long Island Reels? What is that?
They reposted one of my things one time. I got a lot of views, but they should do more.
So Chris is in this. He's playing Blinded by the Light, and it's like when somebody has LED lights, and I can't do it justice, but he's just in the car going blind, and it's one of the funniest things.
Hilarious.
And he's found a little niche, and he's been killing it. So and not to mention, he's an excellent stand-up.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's going to be on the show too.
Nice.
And I got a couple of surprises. I got a couple of guys I called that. They might be stopping by, so I don't want to.
No.
I'm not going to say anything.
Joe Coy's coming down.
Joe Coy. No, keep the surprises in case they don't come in. You know what I mean?
Trying to get comedians together also is like trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
So, you hope for the best. That's all.
But tickets on sale right now at govs.com.
And Carla's hosting that show? Who's hosting
Carla is hosting that show.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
one of the best hosts on Long Island.
She's
Carla.
excellent.
She's excellent.
That's
going to be an awesome show.
I have a little bone to pick with Carla, by the way.
Quite a few.
I sent out, as you know, a massive invite in our quest to grow our YouTube page, our new YouTube page, and really there's no reason for anyone to say no to the invitation of just subscribing to our YouTube page. And I went and I saw there was one no, and it was from Carla Okerson.
That's
today.
my fault. She's actually a little bit mad at me right now.
Is she mad at you or is she mad at me?
She's mad at me, and she took it out on our show.
Okay. And then I texted.
That's totally my fault.
I group texted our little group text, the three of us, and she ghosted me on that. Yeah. So what's happening? Or we don't want to talk about it. Really,
we can talk about it later on.
Yeah. All right.
A disagreement at the Gotham Comedy Club Christmas party last night.
Oh boy. So. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, those Christmas parties are always great after Christmas too. Exactly. Yeah. That's not going to bring up a lot of bad emotions.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awful.
But
you know what's so funny though is the people closest to you that don't want to see you succeed. Like I told my dad one time, I was like, "Hey, Dad," I was like, "I got my podcast," and my dad calls into my podcast. I was like, "Hey, listen, I got this podcast. We're starting, to, get pretty big. He's like, "Yeah, okay, maybe I'll take a listen." So he gives me a call. He goes, "Hey, Eric, how was that? What was the name of that podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Loose Cannon Comics." He goes, "No, not that one. The guy that works on ESPN Radio, he's got a professional soccer podcast." I go, "You don't even watch soccer. You're gonna listen to a soccer podcast before you listen to?" I was like, "All right, listen, I'm not gonna fill you in anymore, okay?"
Exactly. Yeah.
So I always get that. Are you still doing that?
Just tell him it's Loose Cannon Soccer.
You still doing that comedy stuff?
Exactly.
So your dad is not a subscriber to your podcast, is what you're saying?
No, he calls in though.
Oh, he does.
Oh, is this his podcast thing again? Whenever he calls up,
that's nice.
Yeah. So we have a voicemail line and stuff. So we allow people.
So
to call in.
I'm not that familiar. Give me a little idea about your show. Who's your co-host? Do you have one?
So Tony Baloney.
Okay.
Anthony Bologna is his correct name.
Sure.
But yeah, we were a co-host, with the pandemic and stuff, life got in the way, so we had to take a break, but we're going to be relaunching the show, Loose Cannon Comics. So it's pretty much like this small universe that I have, so I do a lot of impersonations. Mm-hmm. It's a throwback to FM kind of radio format podcast.
Okay.
I get people on, I've gotten Jake the Snake, the Jerky Boys, kind of B-list celebrities, so I get them on.
And then sounds A-list to me, buddy.
We have
Boys.
In my world, that's A-list.
We have a voice list, a voicemail list.
A voyeur, I thought, because I'm going to be on that thing.
That's him.
You're a voyeur now.
That's him looking through the window. No, but for real, we went and put our phone number in rest stops in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and people fucking call in, and it's just like opening up the manhole of.
You don't have to call every fucking time.
Yeah,
every time I go to a rest stop.
Every time you're in a glory hole, you don't have to call. Eric, it's me. Yeah, we know, Mike.
You know what?
But then in between that, we have different segments. But then I rolled a commercial, and my commercials are fictitious commercials I've already made.
Oh,
so and then also we have Scott from down the block, Cokehead Dad.
Okay.
We have a few different characters that like to call up the show and add a little spice. But
so are these from Levittown? I guess these people are from.
No, they're real people from my life that I've ran into. Yeah. Like Scott from down the block. That's a real guy, and he talks like this.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll just call like the busiest McDonald's in the world, and I go, "Hey, have you seen my rattlesnake jacket?" And it's just some lady going ape shit on the phone. So we have this little world. Like I was telling Tony, I had my show on public access. I was doing a late night show.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
We had baggy spandex. We had a band opening monologue. I had the guy from the bird sanctuary come by with an owl with half a wing and all that nonsense.
Nice.
And but I would have it on.
That guy.
I would have it on public. I'll give you his number. He's a good guy. But I had it on public access, and I would go to commercial break, and it would be my fake commercials from YouTube.
Sweet.
So Dead Aside or Ardos or different things that we've done. So I made this little world that I live in, and probably gonna be throwing a nut house soon. But
nice. All right.
Until that happens, I'm here.
Yeah,
well,
so
listen,
get those
man.
tickets for this Saturday. We have a show coming up, right?
Well, tell us about that one.
Okay, we have a show next Saturday at Max in Babylon. It's off of Main Street. It's going to be usual suspects. It's going to be Mike. It's going to be Carla. We're going to have Johnny McDonald on that show also. Chris Bullard Barnes is going to be on that show. Sean B. Pretty much the same lineup you got now. With a couple additions.
Yeah, and I have some old friends coming that are looking.
A little Suffolk County group that you have coming, Mikey.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night. So Max in Babylon.
Max in Babylon, my good friend of mine from growing up. He owns the place. It's a brunch place.
Mac, his friends with Mac. Is that Mac?
Mac or Max? What is it?
M-A-C-K is his last name. Max, M-A-C-K-S. You can Google it. It's on Main Street in Babylon. Really nice place.
I'll be there.
Also, they got great brunch during the weekend. Saturdays and Sundays, bottomless brunches.
Sweet.
It's pretty good, and the food.
I don't hate a bottomless brunch. Tony.
Yeah, and the food is excellent too. And that place that they are in Babylon, it's great spot in town. So a lot of young people, good atmosphere and stuff. So they have a perfect upstairs for it, and it's a really good scene.
All right,
comedy,
good. So you guys got a lot of activity going on.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's the
lot
new
going
year
on in this world. It's, like I said, it's our year.
So,
this is 2020.
Eric, did you stop doing comedy for a while? Just because I don't have a lot of familiarity with you, so that's why I'm just trying to.
I mean, Mike kind of knows my deal. What happened was I was heavily involved in comedy.
Okay.
And then life got in the way.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't, dedicate my time to comedy or creating. And I used this past year, so I came back last year. I did a couple stand-up shows, and this last year I've been writing, creating content.
Nice.
Social media stuff. I've been doing so much offensive lineman work, like for the past year, that like nobody notices that shit. Like when I finally gonna have all my ducks in a row, so when I do launch, it's not gonna be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that.
You're planting seeds all over the place right now.
Right.
I got to, man, because you know what, and you know, and that's no bullshit. It's 2024 is the year, man.
Yeah.
It's the year to make a move, because if you look at anything, you look at Patreon, if you look at Instagram, you look at any of these things, this is the time to be an independent contractor, especially in the comedy or entertainment business.
Yeah.
And and it's fun, man. I love Governors. I came here as a kid. I love stand-up comedy. I've been doing stand-up comedy forever, and you know
that's where we go back to. When I used to host the open mics here, that's almost 10 years ago now. You and Mr. Baloney, we used to do the open mics here together, and then we go back that far.
Is that something?
We have a little history.
And now you're
there.
back together again, like
back
Captain
together.
and Neil.
That's right.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot. Mike, I wanted to take note of something. You had texted me something that your aunt had written about the case of Natalia Grace, the curious case of Natalia Grace.
Oh my goodness!
Did you
no idea what
wild
you're talking about.
stuff? And then Mark had, my aunt had been watching it, and I saw that she was.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Is this the chick with like the Munchausen? The mom had Munchausen?
No. That's Grace Rose.
Okay, so I'll be quiet and listen.
Oh, that's
Gypsy
Rose.
Okay, no, but
Yeah,
I want to
That's
listen.
Gypsy Rose. This is a totally different freak show.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I got to get into this Gypsy Rose thing. But the Natalia Grace, my aunt had mentioned something about it. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll get involved in this. And then you messaged me. You're like, I'm watching this thing. It's wild. Dude, after 2 episodes, I almost texted you. I'm like, what the fuck are you making me watch right now?
Yeah, it's bedlam.
It's wild. It's like this well-to-do couple. They had kids. They had money. They had nice cars, nice house. And they figure, you know what? Let's give a little bit back. Let's adopt a little crippled kid. Right?
The cripple.
A little crippled kid.
Well, you know, like the cripple.
Yeah.
So they adopt this little crippled munchkin thing. Like, what are they? Dwarf.
No,
dwarf.
that's the proper terminology. Crippled munchkin.
Crippled munchkin thing.
Yeah.
They adopted a dwarf girl.
They adopted a girl that had a
wonder why I can't get
dwarfism from the Ukraine. And she was allegedly 4 or 5 years old, and then it turned into a thing where they wound up having her re-aged, and they said that she was 22 when she was actually 7, and then she was in an apartment by herself at 7 years old.
She like ruined their lives. She was telling the parents, she's like, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep, and she's like torturing all their other kids.
Well, that's allegedly, because the parents are fucking crazy. Trained.
Oh my god, if you watch,
they're out of their goddamn mind.
So I do know this.
Yes.
And little full disclosure right here. I had to stop watching it because it took like a hot dose of mushrooms, and I started watching that show, and I'm like, oh, I had to turn on something very funny. But dude, they're like, but what's crazy is I said another woman. And that's another crazy story that says batshit crazy as that one.
Yeah, have you been following that one at all?
We
the Gypsy Rose thing?
A little bit, yes. My friend Sue had told me that it needs to be something I need to.
I don't know what's going on.
I know that she murdered some people, and she's out of jail right now.
Okay, this is what I think happened. I don't really know. Her mom was poisoning her. Yeah. She killed her ass, and now they let her out.
But yeah,
I think that's.
And now she's like friends with Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
she's going out with Travis Kelce's brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
She's sitting in the press box at the Chiefs
like,
game.
Come here, you little freak.
That's right.
And now she's dating like some new guy. Like, what kind of freak show is gonna date this girl now?
I can't even get a date.
No, but
she
she's
forced
got
her ex-boyfriend to murder her mother.
She has
He's
like
still
a
in
Twitter
jail.
or social, like or Instagram, and it showed up on a reel the other day, and I was like, "Oh, it's fucking Gypsy Rose. This fucking bitch is gonna kill me."
Exactly,
motherfucker.
We got to get Natalia Grace and Gypsy Rose together.
Yeah, and your favorite. Oh, I meant to. I'm gonna read this tweet that you wrote because you've been on a deep dive when it comes to this Stephen Hawking thing.
Oh my god!
Like that guy controls where he goes.
Well, I think he's dead now, right? Is he dead?
But what I'm saying is, like, he can't control if somebody brings him to an island. Yes. Where are you taking me? Exactly. Where are you taking me? Get on the goddamn plane.
Apparently,
you freak.
Apparently, I guess when this list came out last week, Stephen Hawking was on the list.
Stephen Hawking's on the list, going to this tropical island
of dastardly, despicable human. Mike Keegan goes right to Facebook because he can't wait for 1 second to be a human being, and he writes, "Stephen Hawking was on the list. How slow was that kid?
Get back here.
Please. Yeah. Last
Get back here. I'm catching you.
This is the last time I use Southwest Airlines.
Dude, you're a savage. That you
Take your pants off and get me a Miami Vice.
My wheel is caught in the sand. Sand. We are just grains of sand on an endless beach. Sand.
I don't. Can you explain to me?
What's he doing when he gets there, bro?
Well,
come here. I'm gonna touch you.
I hear there's this island with little children, and I want to go there. And what do they? They just put them on the plane.
How do you assault somebody like this? I know the theory of relativity.
But didn't he have a kink? Wasn't there a kink that he had?
His kink.
Yeah, he was in the cripples.
Was that he liked watching? He liked watching midgets or little munchkins.
Yeah,
you serious?
Yeah, he liked watching little people solve very complicated math problems on high up chalkboards. That was his thing. I swear to God, that was a thing.
What?
That's the thing. He liked watching midgets reach up and solve complicated math problems. That's his thing. Everybody got their thing.
Was his favorite writing shorthand?
There it is.
Hey-o! Exactly. You're making me be at the Borscht Belt right now. Boom, boom.
But I'm not. That was his kink, and that was his thing. And,
why? Get over here.
You know how your neighbor will go on vacation, like an attractive woman, and they like take a picture of themselves with their you just see their legs and
their
feet
toes.
with the ocean in the background. Then he wrote that with his like gnarled little noodle legs.
It's just sand
chilling.
It's just sand kicking up.
Sand through the hourglass. These are my noodle legs.
But can someone explain to me?
Living my best life.
All the people that were on the list. Is it possible that someone just wanted to go to a nice island to vacation? Like,
no, they know what's going on there.
All of them are going to sodomize.
Okay,
children.
hold on.
I don't know enough about it.
I'm saying fake news. Fake news on you. Fake news. Okay. If you had a chance, okay, let's just say somebody showed up with
I had a chance to go there,
a fucking briefcase,
I absolutely would.
Briefcase full of money, and was like, "Yo, I want you to do a set. I want you to do an hour on Epstein Island, dude. You'd be the first one in the fish tank with mermaids, like doing the weird.
Hire me to do an hour. I'd probably only last 3 minutes though. But no, 100%.
Yeah,
exactly. There were probably people that were getting paid to go there and do whatever, perform,
all the people that complain about the list are people that would love to be on it.
Oh,
you know, they're like, I'm just not.
I've been complaining the most. I would have loved to go to Epstein Island.
You're saying that everyone knew, but you're not saying everyone was partaking in sodomy and Gomorrah or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think everyone partook.
But Alan Dershowitz goes there like 128 times.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's the guys that go there regularly. They know what's going on. Clinton, Alan Dershowitz.
I don't think I fully
Prince
understand
Andrew.
what was going on. So there was,
but they had
they were kidnapping children. Or
honeypot for apparently it was a honeypot for Israeli intelligence. So what they do is they bring officials and heads of state from all over the world, obviously from the royal family, the U.S. politics, Bill Clinton, names go up and down Hollywood. And what they do is they put these people in precarious positions and they get blackmail on them. And now you're part of theirs. So if they have anything to do, if they want to implement policy on somebody like Bill Clinton, who they got a picture of him with 6 underage girls, I think he might sign off on that.
100%. Exactly.
Is this real? This is
probably not. I just told him the Titanic was an inside job the other day.
This doesn't sound legitimate to me.
But there were like underage girls on the plane, like giving you massages.
There is
Stephen Hawking's thing?
Yeah, they gotta massage him.
Why?
He tenses up real quick.
Why?
Tight hamstrings.
Please adjust my pillow.
I just don't understand the whole thing.
So
it's really
Maxwell,
bad.
They had this house in Florida where she would invite the young girls to, and they would kind of coerce them into getting involved in these sexual.
I do like that.
Be like, all right,
that Aaron Rodgers got Jimmy Kimmel fucking pissed. I do like that.
Well, that's
Jimmy
the
Kimmel,
thing.
after years of being in blackface and all these horrible things he did when he was on the Man Show, he can't take a joke that Aaron Rodgers said something about him being on the list.
Exactly.
That's all
Jimmy
he said,
Kimmel's
right?
another guy like Howard Stern who made all his millions
being a bad guy,
objectifying women, girls jumping on trampolines, throwing baloney at their asses.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now you're rich. I just want to be in the elite.
I totally agree because I still listen to Stern.
Yeah,
I listened to Stern, old Stern though. This is like Artie Lang time and Eric the Midget.
Yeah.
So like, my point is, if you go back, and you listen to what they used to do to Beetlejuice, what they used to do to Eric the Midget,
and
they would exploit these poor people.
Hold on, Gary the retard. They killed these people.
So now that's why him and Jimmy Kimmel hang out. Because they're both in the same sink.
They're frauds.
They laugh at the bank.
They're frauds.
They made all their millions doing this. They're like, oh, now let's be super woke and get.
They're totally
and get
frauds.
Now it's like, now I like Ellen's dancing.
But you know what? When you're Jimmy Kimmel, you can't unring the bell of pictures in blackface or.
Well, it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much.
No, I'm just saying though.
He seems like he came squeaky out on the other.
I don't think it's over with yet. I think
a lot of people overlook it, and we'll see. Like you said, there's probably more stuff that's coming out with Epstein's list.
Until it serves a purpose for somebody to take him out, whether to get his job or he did something.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll be fine until then.
I think, but I would almost love to see him tussle it out with Aaron Rodgers in court. He would never do it because obviously he's a big pussy.
Who's got deeper pockets like that? Who do you think's worth more? I think Rodgers is worth more.
I don't know about that because Kimmel's got his production company. He's got other things going on. So
and he's got a lot of Hollywood elite and politicians behind him also.
I think that Aaron Rodgers just made $58 million last year in playing football without.
I don't know. I think we'll do an investigation and we'll do a special emergency episode.
We'll have
about
Aaron
this.
Rodgers on.
Yeah, we'll have Mr. Rogers on.
Like the Pat
we'll have
McAfee of,
what other
Rogers
Rogers is on? We'll have every Rogers on.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that's right. Charles Rogers, former wide receiver. We love doing this, Tony. What other?
We'll have Roger Goodell.
Oh, we'll have him on, the old commissioner.
Buck Rogers.
Wow, nice, not bad. That's it, not bad.
But it's
Rogers Hornsby will have on the show.
Roger Daltrey.
Oh, Tony, you old fuck.
But Aaron Rodgers was supposed to make a statement today. Did he bring up Kimmel? Do we know?
I think Roger Clemens did.
Roger
Clemens brought up Kimmel. Eric, now you're playing along now.
Now we play a little baby
Roger
games.
from American Dad.
I love it.
Roger and Me.
What?
Roger Ebert.
Oh, wow.
Rogers Hornsby. I'm old.
What a sad thing. So Siskel and Ebert were like a thing for a long time, and then the skinny guy died, and the other guy's face got all fucking.
He melted.
What happened? That was a terrible thing.
Him and Stephen Hawkins were hanging out on the island.
He caught Hawkins' disease.
He's like, your legs look like my face.
It's so bad. Oh my God, that was such a sad thing. And it wasn't like he was going
like 2 thumbs sideways now, like
No, but the funny thing is that he didn't even stop like posting pictures of himself. He kept on putting it out there, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or what about Celine Dion's stiffness disease?
Yeah, I saw that. Like,
Mike has that too.
Right now I do.
Yeah.
She has stiff person's disease. That's a thing.
Yeah. What does that mean?
She's a stiff person.
You start to stiffen up like a
turn
piece of wood.
Oh, like rigor mortis?
Yeah. Pre-rigor mortis.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Is she not going to live through this?
It's a terminal.
I don't think she's doing so well.
thing. She's not doing great right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
God
she's not.
Damn.
Yeah,
she's getting stiffer by the minute.
Oh man.
So much.
Sounds like you with a group of your buddies on the couch.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers worth double the amount of Jimmy Kimmel.
Really?
He's worth 150 mil. Kimmel's only worth 50 mil.
Wow.
And I say only. I mean, that's a lot. But
yeah, exactly.
By the way, that's
poverty-stricken.
Great game to play. Love it with me and my buddies.
Yeah.
If you ever name a person.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, net worth, and you play Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
Over you.
I can do that for hours.
I go $1 all the time. But yeah, just you name a random person like Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Well, why would you think Rick Moranis is worth? Oh my God!
Yeah, it's very sad.
Oh my God,
that's very sad.
You know what he looks like?
He looks like that again, please. Don't.
Yo, he looks like the Phil. He looks like the Phil Collins video. This is the world we live in. Whoa, like the Ronald Reagan puppet.
Oh, I like that.
Holy shit!
Speaking of, you were saying that Celine Dion is not doing well. You know who also is not doing well, which is very sad, is Michael J. Fox is not doing well.
No.
Michael J.
He
Fox.
hasn't been doing well.
No, but it seems like you've been able to like watch an interview with him over the past few years and kind of make out what he's doing, like what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's gone right now.
You know, you thought it was bad, and then it's like I beat him in freeze tag 7 times last week.
Yeah.
And then it's just like now it was only 2 about a month ago.
He was on
Now
TV.
it's worse.
You'd hit the side of the TV. And
Great Scott, my body won't stop moving.
Yeah, he's not, and Bruce Willis not doing well. Right?
Oh, Bruce Willis, yeah.
He's got that.
He was on the list too, though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was on the list.
Yeah, and anybody who crawled through an air duct It now has a serious illness.
But at least Bruce Willis had some very attractive daughters.
He does.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious!
Rumor.
Oh God! I guess he wished she was a rumor. That's terrible.
What?
Not nice.
They all look like if Demi Moore was melted in a dryer.
No, you know what they look like.
Ooh,
Well, at least I know Michael J. Fox is the same size as me in jacket.
Rocky Dennis from Mask. That's how they look.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Mask. That was a great
flick.
movie.
Good
Great
flick, man. Really good flick.
Don't
really
watch
good.
your heroes get old.
No.
Michael J. Fox, but he still looks relatively young. That poor soul.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, but he's not. Him and Celine are
I haven't
probably
seen
going to
an
battle
interview
it
with
out.
him.
That's
Yeah.
the craziest shit about this. Is like you look at somebody like the guy that owned Apple.
Yeah,
Steve Jobs.
Steve
Gates.
Jobs, dude,
Oh, right.
died at like 85 pounds. You know,
Yeah.
you could have all the money in the fucking
Yeah.
world, and it's not going to go with you to the afterlife.
No,
it's just
but keto though.
keto diet. Yeah, absolutely.
Bill, what's his name? Steve Gates,
Jobs?
Steve Gates,
Steve
Bill Gates,
Gates.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
That was very sad. Like, and that's the crazy thing. You could have literally all the money in the world, which he did, and
not do a thing.
And he couldn't beat keto. It was really just very, very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. I promise, by the way, I have to get this out there because we were with a family friend the other day, and she had her son, and it's this little guy, the cutest little guy in the world. His name is Duke. Duke's his name, and Duke told me Duke is 5 years old, and Duke told me a joke, and I told him I'm going to tell the joke on my podcast, and he looked at me so cute. He was like, "I don't give a shit. Like I don't give a fuck about your podcast. I don't care. I told you the joke because I wanted the satisfaction and adulation as a comic does. I can care less that you tell my joke,
exactly.
but I'm going to do it anyway.
All right.
Okay? So the joke was, why?
How many pussy?
What? That's right. These two Jews walk into a bar. Why did the clam scream in pain, Tony?
I don't know, Mark.
He pulled a muscle. Way to go, Dookie.
Nice.
Duke, good
That was a
job,
good
Way
one.
to go, Duke. I love you, buddy.
You
Yeah,
got to start young.
yeah,
Yep,
he's good.
Exactly.
Might
Duke is headlining the Giggle Room, and Eric Cassen. He's one of the special guests.
Actually, he's taking over for me.
I love
I'm
that.
just going to let him headline.
We rifled through this hour. Thank you to our friend Eric Cassen, my new friend and Mikey's old friend / lover, for coming in and spending some time with us.
I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks for
absolutely,
coming
our
down.
pleasure,
Always
of
a pleasure
course.
hanging.
So you have Giggle Room, then you have Max.
Then
the
we have
show
Max, and then
Anything
Loose
else?
Cannon Comics is going to be coming out in February, and we're going to also check out New York Minute, NEWYRKMIN on Instagram.
Oh, that's the Insta one.
When
Okay.
you
That's where
first started
yeah.
that, I thought it was New Merkin, like a pubic wig. I'm like, who's this New Merkin guy?
My buddy was my
the
boy
fact
was
that even
Irish
Mike knows what
Dundada,
it is.
and I would go, "Oh, I'm like, hey, it's Irish Honda." He goes, "What's Irish Honda?"
Yeah.
So
York
because
Minute.
New York Minute is already taken, obviously, but that's where most of my content's going right now. So you
Awesome.
can just check that out, and then also if any news is going to be coming out about shows or anything, that's the place to find us right now.
Very good. Awesome. Very cool. Mikey, what else you have besides show with Mr. Eric coming
Max with Eric. This Saturday night, I'll be at the Surflight Theater in Long Beach Island down at the Jersey Shore.
Who you there with?
Joe Bronzi and Joe
shit.
Bubowitz.
Dude,
So,
Joe Bronzi's a murderer.
I've never met him.
Oh,
Never worked with him.
I worked with him many years ago when I first started, maybe 2010, 2011. He's terrific. Great
I
guy.
don't want to be with a murderer.
Huh? He's a killer. As a matter of fact, his birthday is one day
to work
apart
with a
from me.
comedian, not a murderer.
Joe Bronzi's terrific. So you're
Yeah,
going to have a
all
great
right,
time.
awesome.
Anthony, before we hit the 10 o'clock hour, what you have the Murder Magical Mystery Tour. What do you have going on with that?
We do have a murder mystery February 3rd at the Hicksville Knights of Columbus. It's a fundraiser for the Nassau County PAL Special Needs Unit.
I love that.
And February 4th, you can catch us in the Giggle Room. We got a show going on with Laura Patton and Fudge and some other great comedians.
Love
Really
Fudge.
nice.
Hey,
Fudge is
also,
great.
I just want to mention one thing. Also, March 20th at the Jericho Terrace. It's a fundraiser that I go to every
Your bar
year.
mitzvah?
I'm having
Yeah.
my bar mitzvah. Mazel tov.
He's doing his
Mazel.
Haftorah there.
Mazel.
Yeah.
It's a benefit for the Hospice Care Network. It's all grieving children that lost their parents and stuff. Mariano Rivera might be making an appearance
That's an
there.
uplifting way to close the show.
Exactly.
Good. Very
I hope
good.
hope he throws a cutter into an orphan's face.
Yeah.
But owner of Mariano Rivera Chrysler, I think, in Port Jeff. He owns a car dealership now. But,
Oh, yeah?
Mary
We're trying to get Mariano Rivera.
Yo,
It should be a good night,
Keegs.
so I'll be there.
Love
and,
John Ziegler.
Johnny Keegs. Oh,
And
yeah,
what is
that's
this
another
all
show.
about?
That's me. I'll be on Rich Rada and Carla are producing a show, and Johnny Ziegler is going to be...
You're on that
headlining
show?
it. I'm on it, yeah.
When is that?
One of those days.
Oh, yeah.
February 3rd.
February 3rd.
I'll be there for that
Day
one.
after
One of those
Groundhog Day.
days.
One of those days.
I'll
you know,
be there for that one, Tony.
I'd like to go to that one myself.
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you for listening. Welcome to our new friend, Eric Cassen. Please follow him on all the things that he had talked about. Make sure you catch the show coming up this weekend. Catch him and Mikey at Max. Tony has his stuff, whatever that he said.
It's the PAL.
And as we discussed today, and a lot of you did, I think we added at least 100-something people. Please follow us at Herschy and the
Smash
Keegs.
that subscribe button.
Because we're gonna keep, Mikey's been putting out a lot of shorts, TikTok, Instagram, a lot of activities been happening, and we appreciate it. And that's it. Have a good week, and we'll see you guys next week.
Follow
Take care.
Hershey and the Keegs on Facebook.
Peace.